We're socializing $4 gasoline right now. It doesn't seem to be a problem for anybody. What's Elon Musk going to be worth with SpaceX at a trill dog?
He'll be worth $1 trillion.
Wow. Oh, man. What's your view on gold here? You have any axes, JD?
Still bottoming, still basing, still chopping and flopping. Can't really take a position here.
You think software is going to be the best performing asset?
If the market continues to rally.
See, I disagree with that.
You mentioned the word catwalk. Which one of those songs has the word catwalk in it?
I'm too sexy for myself.
Yes.
Dude, that's the other song that I was saying. That song has got to be mentioned. What is happening, good people? Me and JD are here to record Macro Dirt Podcast number 92, Monday the 13th. What's up, my man?
What is up?
How you doing today? All right?
Good. I graduated from high school in 92.
Great year, wasn't it? I think I joined UBS, Union Bank of Switzerland, working on Park Avenue in 1992. That was a great year in my life, for sure.
What were you, like 23?
Yeah, 24 or so.
Yeah,
exactly. Fantastic year. 2 years out of college. Was just starting to see the world a little bit more clearly. So that was pretty cool. Certainly, I was seeing it a lot more clearly than I'm seeing it today, JD. I am in a state of constant confusion. I don't know about you. What are you thinking about nowadays?
Did you read Brent Donnelly's note this morning?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Tell me what he said.
I mean, he basically just everybody's thinking the same thing. So we failed to come to an agreement in Pakistan. JD Vance told them to get screwed. We're going to blockade the strait. Oil is up, as of this morning, like $7.50. Now I think it's like $5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is turning into a regime change in Iran. Like that has become the end goal, because Iran will never let go of their nuclear ambitions. So this has turned into regime change, which means a much longer war, higher oil prices for longer, and stocks were down. The S&P was down 70 points on the open on Sunday night. UNCH right now going higher. Mm-hmm. Somebody was sending me some charts last week about how CTAs were short like 40 billion in S&P, and they had to cover. Dude, it just feels like it feels like everybody has to cover, like no matter what the news is, like people are just covering,
Yeah. Well, we're in a phase where $103 WTI is extremely bullish, the S&P, right? Where, we're in that phase where like rallying commodities means risk on in the S&P, because that's the tip of the natural resources spear. So there's definitely a lot to be said for that. I agree with you that there's no seller. There's no like long position out there that's going to get blown out by the S&P going much lower. We're socializing $4 gasoline right now. It doesn't seem to be a problem for anybody. The talk is by the experts that the longer the strait stays closed, the bigger of a supply chain problem that we're going to have. I believe that we're closed long enough now to have a supply chain problem. And like I wrote to my clients this morning, we do not absolutely not have a supply chain problem until somebody that works at JP Morgan can't fill up their Beamer. and it doesn't happen. There is no supply chain happening until then. So if that's not for 3 weeks from now, in 3 weeks is when we'll address the fact that we have a supply chain issue. Right now, the S&P looks like it's going to make a new all-time high any minute.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, it's a real head scratcher. I mean, look, stocks do things that confuse people all the time. Like, you have negative news and stocks go up. You have positive news and stocks go down, and people get really confused. And it's really all about the technicals and the price action and the positioning. And right now, I think everybody is still short out the wazoo. They got caught short, and it's just a short covering frenzy, and it's gonna continue.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you got to realize the market is not the economy. The market is not the news headline. The market is not the narrative. The market is what it wants to be. And the market right now is shrugging off all Iran regime change risk. It's shrugging off boots on the ground for longer risk. It's shrugging off $120 oil, which seems like something that we're going to climb toward in the next couple of weeks, unless the Strait opens and the conflict ends. Am I wrong on thinking that?
No.
Right. So there's definitely some kind of an egg timer on the longer the Straits close, the higher oil has to go.
Yeah.
So, man, this is really it's amazing to me to see the stock market just shrug it off and say it doesn't care, because today we got oil is up, and then right behind it, the worst sector of the year, software, is in the lead today, right? With cloud storage running alongside cloud storage, cybersecurity, and internet stocks are rare earths and oil services. So it's a little difficult for the S&P to go down when tech and natural resources are rallying. So I guess that's what we're having right now.
And honestly, I don't want to be the guy to like call a bottom on software, because it's not really my game. But if this short covering continues and the S&P goes to 7,300, software is going to be the top performing sector. Right, like for sure.
You think software is going to be the best performing asset?
If the market continues to rally, yeah.
See, I disagree with that. I still think that we're going to see. Yeah, I do think that we're going to see. I think it's going to be like rare earths and gold miners are going to get right, and uranium miners are going to get right back in the lead and get their muscle memory back. That's going to be what risk on is going to look like, if you ask me. I don't think it's going to be led by a short cover and rally in software. Software is still below the breakdown zone. It's been volatile because there are some headlines coming out all over the AI space that have got it changing direction dramatically, which may contribute to it being a bottom. And we also may contribute to it being a bottom whereby we just took out the double bottom and then are now trying to get back into the range. So the close today is everything. I'm still going to fade you there. I still think that sector and technology, broadly speaking, are going to be challenged. I keep writing about the fact that we are.
Actually, I have one reason why they might be challenged.
Go ahead.
So the SpaceX IPO, do you know when that's supposed to be? It's coming. I mean, it's coming up. Like,
no.
So the SpaceX IPO, they're going to raise like 80 or 100 billion for SpaceX on the IPO, which is going to be a massive funding trade. So how this works is, if you never heard of a funding trade before, if there's a big IPO, basically managers have to sell other stocks to raise cash to buy SpaceX, right? Like 80 billion. I mean, this is like 3 or 4 weeks worth of flows into the S&P that is going to be coming out of the market to buy SpaceX. It's going to put a huge amount of pressure on tech. Especially tech,
Yeah, that could contribute to the whole thing. The IPO is scheduled for June 2026 with a roadshow scheduled week of June 8th. $50 to $75 billion potentially, valuing the company at over $1.75 trillion. What's Elon Musk going to be worth with SpaceX at $1 trillion and change?
He'll be worth $1 trillion.
Is that right? Wow. Yeah. Oh, man. What would you do with that much money, JD?
It's beyond comprehension.
Yeah, right.
There's nothing you can even buy. There's
no decisions to make. You just do it. Like the answer is whatever the fuck you want, right?
You could buy like $100 million houses, and it doesn't even make a dent in like what you have.
No, man, that is wild to conceive. What's the first thing that you would buy though? Just tell me, in case you manage to land that kind of money in an IPO. What's the first thing you're buying? And where and what? Like, give me some details.
Well, I have no ambition to be a trillionaire or even a billionaire. But let me put it this way: if I had 100 million, I would probably buy a $15 million place in Miami Beach. That's what I would do.
That's interesting. If I had that much money, I think I would buy like a $30 million place in the mountains somewhere, like where I could ski in, ski out, and kind of either participate in society or stay the hell out of it if I wanted to. That would be a cool place for me. Very interesting. But let's get back onto the markets, JD. A couple of things here. Dollar or interest rate wise, do you have any kind of access to grind in either?
Well, dollar sold off a little bit, but it landed. If you pull up a chart of the DXY, it landed on all three moving averages: 50, 100-day, 200-day.
Not an accident.
And you got to say, all right, this is a good time to cover the short, go long. And which fits with the news. Like if this is going to be a 6 to 12 month war, the dollar is going to be strong, like as much as I would like to be short the dollar, like in this environment, you can't. So
exactly. Exactly. Another tribute to the idea that I've been helping traders with, and that is, don't worry about being right, worry about getting it right. You know what I mean? So it's the kind of thing where if you were bearish the dollar, it's nice, it just fell in your lap. So in order to get it right, you got to cover some here.
Yep.
Right? Stop worrying about being right. And if it goes down further, it's like you just said it. The trade is you cover the thing here
Yeah.
and maybe even flip. Right.
Yep.
I'm not sure where I am on that yet, but you know that this is an action item at this price. Very important. Rates, same as it ever was to me. We're going to get little glimpses of inflation. We're going to get glimpses of economic weakness. Rates are going nowhere. There's no bond trade and there's no money in the bond market that way. So I think that's really relevant. And then year to date, we've still got the same kind of leadership story in stocks, JD. We've got oil services out in front, oil and gas, rare earth minerals, E&P, natural resources, the Bloomberg Commodity Index, and then finally a sector of technology, semis, uranium miners, basic materials, gold miners, and solar. All this stuff is up double-digit percentages on the year. And in my opinion, that is going to snowball.
Did you know that ExxonMobil is the number one contributor to S&P returns this year?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that is amazing, man.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking in the right place, and we're getting our subscribers positioned in the right place, which is good. What's your view on gold here? You have any axes, JD?
Still bottoming, still basing, still chopping and flopping. Can't really take a position here. I'd love to see it get back down to like 4,400. If it does that, I'm going to have a buy ticket stapled to my forehead.
I like that. So, no, that's fair. I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's somewhere well above the 4,150 low is where you got to dig your heels in if you want to buy gold again. I'm really interested in the fact that gold miners, GDX, which were long, are trying to put on a blue sky breakout, and they're still doing a good job. We got the close back up above the 50-day moving average on Friday, a little bit of a pullback today, but certainly not a deal breaker in terms of GDX breaking out. I like it because it is a leading sector. Last year, it was the leading sector of the S&P last year. Going blue sky is where we get back up above all three major moving averages after testing them all and having them in the rearview mirror to resume trends. So I think that's highly possible. So that's kind of one of the trades that I'm banking on is GDX getting back on its horse from here. JD, have we covered everything we need to cover on the market so far this morning? There's not a lot to talk about, but it's all about the straight and how the risk markets are going to react, you know?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Well, did you do the homework I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
For our listeners, I sent over JD the Billboard Top 100 singles from 1992. I've been enjoying this deep dive we're doing into that side of pop culture back then with our podcast in the 90s. So I asked JD to pick out his 3 favorite singles from that list. I find it's more interesting than going over the list top to bottom. So give me your first one, and we'll do a quick back and forth here.
Well, I think the one that has had the most cultural significance is House of Pain. Jump Around. That is the song that we are still playing 34 years later in stadiums, in arenas. We play that song. That is the one song that has survived. That and probably Baby Got Back, I would say, are the two that have stuck around all these years.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely brilliant. Without a doubt, that's a good song. Culturally relevant as hell, you know, and what's amazing is that everybody uses it, right? Everybody rips the musical side from it, and everybody rips the jump around chorus from it for all different things, for content purposes. So that is one of the most popular ones out there. I'll give you that. My favorite song on the list, well, I won't say it's my favorite, but I think that one of the coolest tunes on the list, and one of my favorites, is Sophie B. Hawkins' Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover.
Yep.
That is a sexy-ass song, a sexy video. She was a total babe, and I get pretty fired up when that song comes on.
A personal favorite of mine is Set Adrift on Memory Bliss by PM Dawn. That's a personal favorite of mine. I like that one. I also got to say, I was surprised that Mysterious Ways by U2 was that far down the list because that was a hit. one off the same album. I think it was off of Octung Baby.
Yep.
I have memories of that song, making out to a girl with a girl at a party with that song playing. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Well, I have memories of seeing you two that year. The Octung Baby tour is literally what won me over as a pretty big U2 fan. I went over to see them at Giant Stadium, and if you remember that tour, they had a catwalk out into the crowd on the floor, and my spot was like right on the catwalk, and it was perfect. So Bono came out, and with that tour, that's when he had the video camera. And so he was taking video of people in the stands, and it was coming up on the screen. And I was on the screen because he was right in front of me and the whole group of people, and then turning it on himself. And that was like, that blew my mind. That concert was unbelievable, literally unbelievable. And yeah, I think it's one of their best albums, if not their best album ever.
Yeah.
With that,
also, you mentioned the word catwalk. Which one of those songs has the word catwalk in it?
I'm Too Sexy for Myself.
Yes.
Dude, that's the other song that I was saying. That song has got to be mentioned because that's a one-hit wonder that stood the test of time, right? Like, Right Said Fred, an unbelievable video, a great song. Like, literally, it's like, drop your inhibitions.
I'm too sexy for my cat.
Yes, JD. Get your toot on and fucking play that song in the background. You deserve to. It's literally the other song that I was going to choose to say this is another song off the list that you can't not mention. But since you did, I have to mention Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep.
Right. That's where Anthony Kiedis is writing about his addiction. Under the Bridge Downtown is where I drew some blood. Under the Bridge Downtown, I could not get enough. Under the Bridge Downtown, forgot about my love. Under the Bridge Downtown, I gave my life away. Whew, I still get goosebumps when I listen to that song. Did you have another one? Do you have one more? Because we're going to do a deep dive before it's all over.
I was going to say Richard Marx, but I'll pass. So
is he on this list?
Richard Marx is on that list.
What song?
He's down like in the 80s. It wasn't a song that I recognized.
Oh, man. But that was a good call. Well, I tell you, when I saw this, my eyebrow definitely went up to House of Pain, Jump Around, because you're like, wow, that song has literally never died. But above that, at number 17 on here is Guns N' Roses' November Rain. Now, we got to talk about that because the video is culturally iconic. The video is directed by British director Andy Morahan, who directed the George Michael Faith video.
Oh, wow.
The father figure video. He directed Finish What You Started, the black and white Van Halen video. He directed Shot in the Dark by Ozzy Osbourne, right? So the video is actually inspired by Del James' short story called Without You. And this guy, Del James, was a journalist and a road manager and like a fixture in Guns N' Roses band Entourage in their orbit. So they chose this story to write the video about. It's a 9-minute song essentially written on a grand piano, which makes it totally ominous and cool. It's written in B major and B minor, which gives it a really emotional roller coaster feel. There are 3 guitar solos in November Rain, right? At the time, it was one of the most expensive videos ever made. It only cost $1.50, right? But it was so expensive because they filmed an actual concert in the Los Angeles Orpheum Theater and used that footage as background footage for it. But that's the video where Alex marries Stephanie Seymour, right? She winds up dying in Nobody Knows How. Slash plays that brilliant guitar solo out in front of the church. The cool story about that is, if you remember, there's all this wind blowing all over the place, and you don't know it unless you read the story about it. But the wind that was blowing was a helicopter that was filming him. And if you think about where the helicopter was filming him from, the helicopter was really, really close. And if you read about it, Slash was scared shit filming that scene because he's out there shirtless with a 1959 Tobacco Burst Les Paul, my favorite guitar of all time. And he's literally within 10 or 15 feet of helicopter blades. You know what I mean? So it's really, really emotional scene. It's like my favorite video ever. And then the coolest thing, at this Godfather-esque wedding they have, they create this folklore in the video because in the wedding, some guy who looks loaded cross-body blocks the wedding cake and takes it out and lands on top of it. And everybody in the world at the time is like, who was it that blew out the wedding cake in the video? You know, and there were these big arguments going back and forth, and people were saying that it was Slash. People were saying it was another guy. And I don't think they ever gave out an answer. But it's really cool if you watch the video to see the guy take out the wedding cake in a kind of a disguise kind of scene. But anyway, that's my November Rain soliloquy, man.
I love it. I love it.
Unbelievable stuff, right? It brings you right back. I want to talk about your musical hit. You just did a little DJ gig in Nashville, huh? How was that?
Yeah, I played the closing party for Layla Benitez at Night We Met. Layla Benitez is the daughter of Jelly Bean Benitez, who produced Madonna's first 2 albums. So
okay.
she's comes from a musical family. Anyway, I played the closing party. It was bananas. Like I've been to several of shows at Night We Met, and usually people kind of filter out around the closing party. It was going so hard at 3 a.m. They kept the club open another half hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice
mean, there were people making out in the crowd. I had like girls in the DJ booth. There were dudes high-fiving me. Like it was awesome.
Yeah,
so
I saw the video.
I put the video on Twitter and Instagram. So
looked amazing, man. Congratulations. That's got to be really fulfilling, man, when you go out on a limb and put your talents out there and people respond the way they did, man. So that is awesome. And I do certainly hope to get to one of the shows there in Nashville for sure. I'm actually going to be heading there this week for a big trip with my friends. So I'm looking forward to that. And so I think we've gotten to the end here. We want to wrap up the podcast, say thank you as usual to the Macro Dirt dual subscribers, to the Macro Dirt podcast listeners, to the subscribers on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. If there's anything that I love, it's going through the YouTube comments and Substack comments, because like JD said about our fan base, we got some loyal fans, man, and it feels really good. You know, I got to tell you, JD, time to sail on. Good times never felt so good. Peace, good people.